So Logan Paul and John Cena just had an amazing segment on SmackDown this past Friday night in Dublin. I think everyone kind of going into this feud had the sentiments that John Cena kind of illustrated throughout his promo, that was a whole teardown on Logan Paul's character and kind of why he's here. You know, from John Cena coming out and Logan Paul interrupting him and trying to kind of, build up the hype towards their match. Cena takes the opportunity to really address the fans' complaints about Logan Paul, the fact that he's extremely disingenuous, his shameless ad placement. John Cena is right. We've opened our arms to him completely. He's had, even in terms of the reactions, like, he's been able to feed off such great heat because, yeah, it is like a go away heat and a disdain. And like John Cena said, it is definitely like a parasite type of deal where we feel this is someone who, despite their talent and their hustle, like John Cena said, there's no loyalty or respect to the business that they're taking from. And that's kind of the issue with Logan Paul, and why no matter what, he will be seen as a waste of time or a distraction, a side gig, not a legitimate wrestler. Cena eloquently put that out there, and even giving him his merits, that he could possibly be under the direction of current WWE with TKO and all that, and hype and promotion. He could be a WWE champion. He has the US title. He's overcome Rey Mysterio despite dastardly means. Even with all that stuff, the fans still, we don't see him as legitimized because he is still a jelly roll. He's not, and that's almost a knock on Jelly Roll, because I think Jelly Roll has more reverence and respect for the business in reality, because Logan Paul just sees it as a means to an end. And maybe now he's laser focused on trying to become the best at this sport, but the best at this sport lies in what John Cena said, a reverence and respect for what came before it, not to just plaster your brand and assume you're gonna elevate it yourself and be above it, and that's how you would rise and become a star. All the biggest stars, like the Cenas, the Austins, the Rocks, elevated everyone around them, and the brand of WWE itself, when these guys were on top, was a strong brand. It wasn't just the one guy, right? It was the characters they interacted with, the storylines intertwined between everybody, and that's essentially what the fans dictate. And if Logan Paul really wants to assimilate into the WWE, he has to get by us, right? That's what it comes down to. It's not that you have heat from the talent of getting you to be disliked in a fake like context, but your real world context and your obvious slimy persona permeates over anything you will try to do in the wrestling ring. It's beyond any of the moves you do. It doesn't matter that John Cena has no moves when all your moves are all flash, no substance, because there's no love behind them. It was an excellent promo, and it's actually made me look forward to the feud and kind of what Logan Paul kind of does with this. I kind of hope they book this out so Cena kind of does stomp him, but it gives maybe Logan a reality check that sends him down maybe an interesting path with some of the mid-level guys, where maybe he starts losing to Mellos and starts losing to the guys who he should be losing to, and really actually have a humbling, maybe low-level rise that he should have, that would actually maybe win over the audience if he had a gradual real grind. If he was actually wrestling and being advertised every week on Raw, which does sound groaning, but it makes sense if they want to use that name and do that legitimately while building rapport with the audience, so that they do boo him for being a good heel because they don't like seeing the heel win, and not because this disingenuous person who was the first kind of inkling of ads coming in. He represents that corporatization of WWE. John Cena can't explicitly say that, but because John Cena is one of the greatest of all time and in tune with the audience, he's illustrating that through their feud, or through this through this feud, which elevates it completely and it adds another level to it, and it does make this the most important match for Logan Paul, as it becomes character defining for him how this match goes and how he takes it and the moments that happen for him. Maybe because of the people he's mentioned later in the promo, Cena is saying that he'd rather share the ring with like people like AJ Styles, Jacob Fatu, you know, the Usos, Seth, Punk. I mean, he had shared it with Punk already, but Seth, you know, Roman, a lot of prospects that people want to see on John Cena's way out. So we'll see how kind of everything goes down. You know, a lot of people are seeing like a Brock Lesnar interference kind of stopping everything, but it would just be so, I could see them like letting Logan Paul get a cheap pin off of John Cena that he can really use, because Austin Theory was supposed to do that and he really didn't. But I think Logan Paul is the perfect person to run with that. It's just that disingenuousness that he needs to really work on, and John Cena always is pointing that out, and we'll see if they really tackle that angle any further, if that was really just John Cena doing John Cena stuff. But it was an awesome segment on SmackDown. Let me know what you guys think.